Hello everybody, my name is Katie. I'm the introverted reader. I nearly knocked a book off if you couldn't see the look on my face. But I have a book haul for you today, mainly because I have not filmed a video in a while and I missed you guys and I just wanted to film something. So, cheers, let's get started. So, the first book that I want to show you is The Kingdom by Jess Rothenburg. This is a story set in sort of like a futuristic sort of Disneyland. And the people that work in this theme park are called fantasists, and they're half human, half android, sort of like Disney princesses. And it's their job to make sure that everyone has a happily ever after. And it says at the top here, where happily ever after is not just a promise but a rule. It is their job to make sure that everyone in the kingdom has a wonderful time. And one of them is from what I gather, she is put on trial because they deem something like wrong with her programming because she fell in love with a human, and not only did she fall in love with him, but she's also accused of murdering him. So I don't know how that's gonna go down. It sounds like a very good sort of creepy October read to maybe read next month, but yeah, I can't wait to get into that. The next one that I want to show you is This Lie Will Kill You by Chelsea Pitcher, and this is basically a story. Basically, on the back of it, it says, 1 year ago there was a party. At the party, someone died. Until now, no one has told the truth about what happened. Tonight, the 5 survivors arrive at the isolated mansion expecting to compete in a contest with a $50,000 prize. Nobody questions the odd, rather exclusive invitation until it's too late. So, yes, from what you've gathered there was a party, someone died, and basically the 5 survivors that were there decided to go back to the place where it happened. Like, why would you do that? Like, I'm sorry, I get it's for $50,000, but there would be no amount of money in the world that you could offer to me that would make me want to go back to a place where someone was murdered. Like, it's not worth it, but hopefully I will get to this in October as well. This isn't a TBR video, by the way. I'm just showing you this because I bought it with the intent of reading it in October, so there's that. The next one I want to show you is Rule by Ellen Goodlett. And this is a high fantasy story about these 3 girls, Sophie, Akelia, and Wren. And they grow up, and they have grown up in different various parts of the kingdom. None of the 3 of them have had it very well. I think one of them has an abusive father. But yeah, and basically the 3 of them are called to visit the king, and the king is all like, oh, I'm dying, and they're all like, that's great, but why are we here? And he eventually relays to them that he was a disgusting little man whore that went around the place knocking everybody up, and the 3 of them are his illegitimate children, and one of the 3 of them is set to rule the kingdom, but obviously only one can, so it kind of turns into this like almost contest almost. So it's just, but at the same time, all of them have their own dark secrets and they don't want those secrets getting out. So yes, I just saw this in Waterstones and I thought the premise was pretty awesome, and I love a floppy paperback. Like, thumbs up this video if you love floppy paperbacks as much as I do. Next one I want to show you is Seafire by Natalie C. Parker, and this is basically a story about, let me see, high stakes, high seas, high stakes, and high time for revenge. So it's basically about, our main character is called Caledonia Styx, and she is basically a pirate, I think, and she has like an all-female crew, and they basically go around, they basically, just sail the seas, doing things that girl pirates do, I guess. But she is set out for revenge because her family were murdered by this horrible warlord, so she's basically trying to go out and, avenge her family and whatnot. So, again, not entirely sure what it's all about, but yes, hopefully we'll get to it soon. The next one I want to show you, oh my goodness, I'm so excited about it. It is Shadow and Flame by Mindee Arnett. If you were not aware, Onyx and Ivory, the first book in this duology, was on my TBR for this month. I recently just finished it, and You'll hear about it more in my wrap-up. I loved it, and I immediately went on to Amazon and got this. My copy of Onyx and Ivory is a beautiful floppy paperback. This is a hardcover because the paperback isn't due to come out until June. No. So I just got the hardback edition, and let's be real here, it is gorgeous, and I'm so excited to dive back into this again. I love this. I loved Onyx and Ivory so much, and oh my goodness, I loved it so much. I haven't read this yet, but I plan to really, really soon, because if you haven't read Onyx and Ivory yet, I think I might do a video about like all my favorite duologies, like, because there's so many duologies that I've read that I just adore. Anyway, next one I want to show you is Sorcery of Thorns by Margaret Rogerson. You might have seen this being shown by every other booktuber around here. It's basically, you probably already know the premise and you're probably sick to death of hearing about it, but basically our main character is called Elizabeth, and she works in a sort of library. But the books aren't books, they're kind of like demons trapped inside sort of like library bindings, I guess. And basically one of them gets set loose for some reason, and she has to work alongside this wizard, but wizards and obviously her people, librarians, I guess, don't get along. Something like that. But yeah, you've probably heard enough about this to know what it's about. Like, if you got like I think Fairy Crate had it, either Fairy Loot or Owl Crate that had this as their book of the month, so you've probably seen enough of this to last yourself a lifetime. So I don't know when I'm gonna get to it, but hopefully I will get to it soon. Next one I want to show you, I just found in the supermarket one day, is The Odd Sisters by Serena Valentino. I basically probably have every possible Disney twisted tale, or every, you know, possible book that looks like this by this author at this point. Again, they're just like fun little twisted round Disney retellings, and I love Disney retellings. Like, I have so many like on my shelf, like ones that look like this, and obviously the Twisted Tales series, one of which I've only ever read one of those. I read Tale as Old as Time and I didn't enjoy that one. I ended up unhauling it. Hopefully I'll enjoy this one and a lot of the other ones, but there's this one. The next one I want to show you is, again, a contender for Halloween, and that is The Devouring Grey by Christine Lynn Herman. This, I've been told, is for fans of The Raven Boys and Stranger Things. I love Stranger Things. I do not love The Raven Boys. If you watched my last video, you know how I feel about The Raven Boys. But, I mean, this is basically a story about this small town who is overrun with this Devouring Grey, and there's certain families within the town that are set to, you know, protect the town. They have special abilities to stop the Devouring Grey from wreaking its havoc, and people start disappearing. See, to be honest, I don't get the Raven Boys from that. I get more like Riverdale or Stranger Things. Like Stranger Things, you know, with the whole Devouring Grey, kind of like the what do you call it, Demogorgon aspect of it, if you know what I mean, and, you know, being with the small town and having the town having secrets and whatnot. That gives me Riverdale vibes, not Raven Boys, but hopefully I will get to this very, very soon. Kevin from the Irish Reader read it recently, and he said to read it via audio, so I might do that. But yeah, we shall see. The next one I have here is We Hunt the Flame by Hafsah Faizal. I really hope I'm pronouncing her name right. I'm so sorry. This is a high fantasy story about two different characters. One is a hunter, and it says, forced to disguise herself as a man, she braves the cursed forest to feed her people. And the other character, our first character is called Seafire, and our other character is called Nasir, and he is an infamous prince of death, assassinating those foolish enough to defy his autocratic father, the Sultan. So yeah, that is basically all I know about it. I adored the cover. It was buy one get one half price, so why not? I figured, you know, it sounds like a, you know, good sort of read, and, you know, I love the whole like woman disguising herself as a man aspect of a story, you know, like give me that Mulan vibes, like give me that, please, thank you. Anyway, next book I want to show you I didn't intend to get because I didn't know what it was, because I went into Waterstones the other day and they had these books on their shelves that were all like wrapped up, and these little cards on them that gave you a brief synopsis of what it was about. And I randomly picked this one because it was like alternate universe LGBTQ sort of adventure story, and it was The Last Bus to Everland by Sophie Cameron. And yeah, it's basically about this boy called Brody, and he's just had enough of real life, and he meets because he gets bullied a lot, and he meets this other boy called Nico, who takes him to a place called Everland where he can do whatever he likes because it's magical and wonderful. And yeah, there seems to be a dark aspect of it there too, because it says you could lose yourself there forever. So yeah, and it's said for fans of Lanny Taylor as well, and I love Lanny Taylor, so I'll give it a try. The next one is another one I sort of bought on a whim, and that is American Royals by Katharine McGee. I was actually talking to my friend Caitlin about this a while ago, and it's basically if America was a monarchy. You know, if America had a royal family and not just, you know, their Congress or their president. We'll not get into politics here, people. But basically, this is a story about the Washingtons. You know, if you know George Washington, yeah. It says, the Washingtons have ruled America for almost 250 years. They're gorgeous, fiercely famous, and the beating heart of the most glorious court in the world. But behind the glittering ballrooms, elegant gowns, and perfect public personas lie forbidden romances and scandalous secrets that could cost them the throne. So yeah, I love a good scandalo, I really do. So yeah, I don't pretend to know what this is about. There's, you know, princesses, and it would be fun to sort of read this sort of like alternate America, to see how America would handle having a royal family, because we all know that all Americans are jealous that Britain has a royal family. I think y'all secretly do want a royal family. Some parties do anyway. The next one I want to show you is Nocturna by Motayne. I don't know how to pronounce that name. I'm really sorry. But I doubt that Maya is watching this, and I don't know if Maya is the right way to pronounce this, but if someone has read this and knows how to pronounce things better than me, please let me know how to pronounce this. But this is basically a high fantasy story about these two different characters. One is a face shifter. She's shifted her face that many times she doesn't know what she looks like. And the other one is a prince. And he has magic, but magic is verboten in the kingdom. And I'm assuming at one stage they have to band together to save the world, because that's usually how these things go. But yeah, I mean, the cover is really beautiful, and it's a floppy, gorgeous paperback. So I mean, who doesn't love floppy paperbacks, I ask you. So there's that. I'm just getting through this quickly. The last one that I want to show you is one that I debated whether or not to get, because I have the two other books in this series, and I wanted to wait until the edition of this book came out to match the ones that I have, but I just saw it and I was like, what the hell. Darkdawn by Jay Kristoff, which means I have all three in the Nevernight trilogy. It's the same cover, but the ones I have are smaller than this, and they have a black spine rather than a white one. But I was like, you know what, it's paperback, and even if it's tall, I don't care. But yeah, I saw the Waterstones edition when I was in there today, and I had like lovely like black sprayed edges, but I don't need all that. And I am not 100% what this is about. I know it's about an assassin. I know she wants to, avenge her dead family, and there's a cat in it that talks. Apparently this is him right here. His name is Mr. Kindly. I don't know if Mr. Kindly is actually kindly, but I will read Nevernight hopefully at some point, and when I get to this one I will give you my verdict. So yeah, so I've never actually read a book that's just by Jay Kristoff by himself. You know, I've read the Illuminae Files, but he did those with Amy Kaufman, so never read one with just him on his own. But yeah, that's my book haul. Those are all the books I wanted to show you. If you've read any of these, let me know what you thought of them. If you would like me to do a video about my favourite duologies, let me know as well. And please follow me on Instagram, please follow me on Twitter, they will be down below in the description box as always. Please subscribe. Thank you to all of you that have recently subscribed, thank you so much. Anyway, again, my name is Katie, I am the Introverted Reader, and I'll see you next time. Bye.